Good morning, beauties. How are you all doing today? I'm the Moon Mama, and today is Wednesday. Wednesday is the day governed by Mercury. And Mercury, hallelujah, has finally left Cancer. Oh my God. Mercury has been retrograde in Cancer for months, and we have been able to look deeply into the shadow of America, our heritage, the lineage through our mothers to understand how we got where we are today. It's very significant to understand that our mothers really create the material world, first and foremost, right? So, meaning that when our mothers give birth to us and women give birth to people all around the world, that's building the material reality. So our human experience really comes through the tunnel, the energy of our mothers. And so Cancer governs the mother, and in Mercury has been in Cancer, and this work has been very deep, and you see what's going on in our country and our world, and it's like we are having this opportunity to repattern ourselves. And that's how it's through the mother's understanding and lineage that we repattern ourselves. And so I want to talk about everything today. I don't know that I'm going to have time for it, but one of the ways that I work to repattern my energetic through my feminine energy is with my womb, by doing womb work. And that is really tapping in with meditation and understanding the information that my womb is giving me. And so I've talked with you guys. My mother was a prostitute. I remember when I was a little, I would have memories of my mother being a prostitute. My father was in jail because he went to jail during her pregnancy, and my mother was working as a prostitute during her pregnancy with me until she was fully showing. Like my mother's sister told me a story that my mother had written a letter to my father while he was in jail saying, I can't send you money anymore because I'm too pregnant, and I can't be on the streets any longer. And so at that time, I guess that's what we would call like child prostitution or whatever it was, because my mother was also 17. But that energy resides in me and in my womb. And so I do things. I use a egg. Like this is a red jasper, and this helps with the the root chakra and the creativity chakra. This is a carnelian, and this also helps ground me into security. And so what I do is I use these yoni eggs. I'll wear them. I'll insert them like you would a tampon, and wear them and do the work while I'm wearing them to heal those belief systems, those traumas around my mother's energy, like not feeling secure, and giving her power to my father, and my father siphoning her energy. Like all that stuff is real human shit that then shows up in our lives still today. And here's the thing, we've been in a system that's just how it's been designed, and we participated unknowingly, unconsciously, because that's how it is. It's this system, this American system, is like a vampiric system. And so all of us on some level are participating in various ways. And the work is to begin to extricate your energy from that system so that you can literally experience your sovereignty. So crystal yoni eggs is one way that I have been working with healing my womb and healing my energy with my mother through this American experience. The other things I do is I use, like this is black clear quartz, Tibetan black clear quartz. And this energy helps me cut through those deeper belief systems. I'm telling you all, this work is not for the faint of heart. But we don't have any choice. This is the only work to be doing on the planet right now. Otherwise, we continue to be weighed down by trauma and belief systems and practices. and behaviors that keep us stuck in the old paradigm and the old ways of being. And the old paradigm is done. It is crashing. It will get increasingly more difficult to exist there. And so all you have to do is begin to follow your follow your heart, like listen and ask deeper questions and trust yourself and release the judgment. Release your tendency to judge yourself and others and make other people wrong, because like I said, we've all been here. We've all been doing this. We've all been surviving at the best level that we can. That's why I tell the truth about my stuff, because I want everyone to be able to tell the truth about it, because it's funky, it's shadowy, and I just for the last few days I've been really recognizing this tendency I have within myself to obsess about men, or obsess about something that I don't have, or be in these internal conversations in my head with somebody that's just in my head, and that energy is real. That energy, like, we think we can be in these internal conversations and we can be angry with people in our heads, and that is not a real thing, but that is a real thing that then impacts you and then creates a signal that goes out and impacts the other person. So these are the behaviors and patterns that we need to begin to identify inside of ourselves, discover the roots of them, and dissolve them, or pull them up, or redirect those energies in another way, so that we can actually become more healthy and aligned. So like I said, I've been noticing that I have this obsessive compulsive thing that goes on, and it's wired into my sexuality and wired into my heart. And it was born out of me not having my needs met as a child. So it created a lot of yearning, a lot of desire, so many of us, if we carry that orphan archetype, where it doesn't mean that you actually were an orphan, but it means that your parents were not energetically available for you. So your needs didn't get met. And so when your needs didn't get met as a child, and when I say your needs, I don't mean just food, clothing, school. I mean, like, having parents that really got you and understood who you were. So most of us didn't have that. So most of us didn't have our needs get met as children. So then how did you survive? How did you work to get your needs met? I know for me, I became like helpless. So I would get my needs met by being really helpless. And then people would come and say, oh, they would feel sorry for me. They would feel sorry for me, and then they would start giving me things that would meet my needs, or my basic level needs. It wouldn't meet my deeper needs, which are what I'm really just discovering now. And I can meet those myself. But it's important for us to begin to look at ourselves so that we can see how we've been functioning, the shadow ways that we've been functioning to get our needs met. Like I said, my compulsion and obsession has been born out of scarcity, a lack, when someone would come and appear that they were going to be able to meet my needs, whatever they occurred as, especially if it was a man, then I would become compulsive and obsessed because of the scarcity. It's like, oh my God, I hope this is it. Oh my, is this? And so I would cling and hang and pull and do all of this sort of internal stuff based upon that scarcity need, like a starving. So I encourage you to look and see what your patterns have been, because those things are done with, and we are now coming into a new cycle. The old cycle is done and the new cycle is being born. So it's important for us to sort of take off the old costume, basically. If you know that scene from The Wiz at the very end, where it's "Can you feel a brand new day?" and it's and they start taking off those ugly costumes and coming out of themselves and being who they really are. That's the work that we need to be doing right now, taking off those costumes. And the only way to take them off is to look at them for what they truly are, and have compassion for yourself and others, and help yourself and others come into our true state of being, which is the God consciousness, the Christ consciousness, sovereignty. The moon today is in Pisces and will be for the next couple of days. And we are moving into the phase of the moon where it's time for us to, look at ourselves. Like I'm saying, look at ourselves so that we can begin to shift that energy. The moon in Pisces is a very empathetic, collective, where you can feel everything, where you might be feeling things that aren't yours. But if you're feeling it, and don't reject it, just feel it and then see if there's something for you to do about it, if there's some way for you to be with it. This Mercury has finally moved into Leo. It's at 0 degrees of Leo. So Mercury is catching up to the sun, where the sun is. And so this is good because we can burn off that karma now. If we can look at ourselves, if we can give ourselves permission to see ourselves with the eyes of love, like when I look at what my shadow has been, how I have played helpless, and how I have been manipulative, thinking that I didn't have what I needed and that I needed certain things that really weren't in alignment with me. I want to do the work to burn that off, because the truth is that I'm absolutely not helpless at all. Like I'm probably one of the most powerful people I know. And so that I have been wearing the costume of being helpless is pretty profound. So we all have been wearing a costume, all of us. And this is time for us to now take that costume off and step more powerfully into our divine roles as God, goddess, because that is who we are and what we are. We are creators at our core, and the way we created, this way of being that was really not in alignment with our fullness, we can also create a new way of being that is in alignment with our fullness. So for those of you who are interested in joining the moon work for the coming cycle that starts on the 11th, you can go register in my link tree here. The first month is $47. The code is 13 Moons Leo. And we will be working with the Leo new moon, Aquarius full moon axis. And that energy is truly about you being who you're here to be, your sun power, your life vitality, to step fully into your creative potential and your creative power. So this next cycle will be about harnessing your creativity, which is key to everything. Your creativity is everything. It's not like the way you create yourself is the core of who you are. So that's what our theme will be for next month. And for those of you who are registering for the Mars retrograde course, thank you. And that work is going to be around renewing your identity, creating a new identity. And you get to create it according to who you are, like what your contract is. And at this time on the planet, we're all cleaning up our lives. We're all cleaning up our energy. We're all cleaning up, as we step into the early energetic frequencies of the age of Aquarius. It's important for us to clean up who we've been in the age of Pisces. That collective sort of, where we're all one. Now we're all individuals. So you want to take off that sameness. You want to take off that conformity and move into a unique way of being. And that's what we're going to be doing as we claim a new identity in the Mars class. So with that, I am the Moon Mama. I encourage you all to stay the course. This work is deep, but it pays off. Like there is an ebb and flow. I remember when I was pregnant and I was in labor, like the labor pains will be really intense and painful. And then there would be a grace period where there was no labor and there was no contraction. And then I would be able to rejuvenate myself. So we will have that. We will have moments of contraction and moments of release. So just go with the flow, trust it, and know that all is well. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.